Oh, okay. I'm on the other channel. Uh, can anybody see me here? It's terrible. This is terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Oh dear. Life is just not fair, is it? Hey, I've got one guy. He came over to my other stream. The thing just died on me. I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize. I'm gonna delete the other. I'm gonna delete the other stream. This is not good. I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Okay, guys. Gee. Hi, Jason D. Hi. I'm sorry about that, guys. You know, when things happen, they all go downhill. So this is a restart of my live stream. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I deeply apologize because the internet somehow it just went nuts, went to new. Let me introduce again to my channel. Thank you for coming to my channel, Brown Eye. And there's a very sad news today that my whole channel has been demonetized. Yep, 0. So I'm really upset, and there's nothing to do because I had this YouTube channel for over 10 years, and I had some content that because back in those days you can just upload anything, and anything will be back. And nowadays, as time goes by, it's getting more and more like sensitive and about the copyright and everything. But those videos were posted like over 10 years ago, 10 years at least, or 9 years. So my whole channel has been demonetized, and it would take. Hi guys, thanks for joining. I'm sorry. Here I am back. I apologize. And when those people, when YouTube find out, like, oh, you have those the content in there that doesn't belong to you, so they decided to strike my account. And now, at least they didn't cancel my account, right? So it's my whole channel is demonetized, so I'm not getting anything. So it really sucks because it's starting to get some momentum, and I'm pretty happy about it. And can you guys hear me okay? I hope everything's all right. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure because nothing's working. My brain's not even working today. It's terrible. And for example, like even now, if you want to put in $1 on the super chat, there's no super chat. Everything's gone to hell. Oh dear. So anyways, if you guys can support my channel, I'll put a link down there on my Patreon. I did a thank you, Jason. Thanks for your feedback. If you guys can help me out, like $1 or something like that, I'll put the link below later on, a Patreon account. And if you can support me just for $1 or so like that, I really appreciate it. because I still want to keep this channel going, because it really, you guys are awesome. You guys are the best in the world. And this few weeks I've gone really personal, open up my personal life with you guys, and it's quite an experience, and I plan to just to share my life more to you guys, what's happening to me daily when I'm in China, or both in North America, or when I'm traveling, and I'll try to get more personal, and you can see my life as it slowly unfolds. So would it be, I hope it would be okay if you guys feel like it or not. It's not mandatory or anything, it's okay. But, go to my Patreon page and give me a little bit of support, and I'll really appreciate it, and I'll do my best to have my content, up to par. So that's over. No more monetization. My channel is not monetized at all now. No super chats. You can't even put in a super chat now. Sucks. So a few people have come back. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's jump into the main thing, is tiger parroting and the teen suicide. As I was saying before, from 2015 to 2017, there are over 50 suicides in Hong Kong. And all the kids are under 18, and some kids would be as young as 6 years old, and that is appalling. And that is it shouldn't be happening in this modern day society, right? Now it's mainly because of there's a test in Hong Kong, is the TSA test in Hong Kong. So what that test is, you would have that test when you're 9 years old, okay? So when you get in primary school, they would start to drill you to prepare for this TSA test. And you would have that when you're 9 years old. And when you are so young, you start getting drilled on those exams to be practicing how to do all those exams. You go nuts. And the reason is why the school really hammers you down to do well in those exams, because it's called a territory student examination assessment examination. And it's actually not to access the students in a way personally. It's to access, like, to see how the students, the schools that the government is sponsoring, are they doing well? And how do they judge, is the school doing well, is because they would do these TSA exams when they're 9 years old. These exams would go on when you're 9, and middle school, secondary school, they would have that again when you are like 13 years old. So they will keep on drilling you to practice all those exams until you get a good score. But the damage is really phenomenal to the kids. The kids have no life. Okay, so let's go to my kids. I have 2 kids, and my younger daughter, when she was in primary school, she was in a public school, which is good because you just pay a really low fee to get in, and it's government sponsored. Hello to all my viewers. How are you doing? I've got a few now. Sorry about it. I apologize that my other stream broke down because of the lousy internet. Apologize. And my daughter would go to this school, and it's a good school, public school, government subsidized school. She would go to school, then start her day. Hi, Sonny, how are you doing? And she would get punished every day. Why would she get punished? Because she couldn't speak fluent Cantonese. She cannot speak fluent. She can only speak English. Our family, our mother tongue is English. So she can't sing the school anthem. So every time after the school anthem, you would the teacher would see, oh, your mouth, you're just opening your mouth, no words coming out of your mouth. So she would stand outside the class every day for half an hour until she can recite and sing the school anthem in Cantonese, Chinese. And she was like, I think she was like 7 years old. And how can you do that to a kid, 7 years old? And she was so terrified. And the reason I knew about this is like half a year later. I didn't even know about it. The nanny who took care of my daughter at then said she would cry every night before she go to sleep, because she would be terrified when she wakes up the next morning, knowing that she has to sing the Chinese school anthem, and the teacher would monitor her, and if she couldn't sing it, she'd be standing outside of the classroom for half an hour. And this has happened for like over a month until she knew how to sing the anthem. Hi, KM. Mary, how are you doing? And the thing is, when you stand outside of the class, you'll be humiliated. The class would think, oh, is that some type of disability? Is there something wrong with her brain? So people would like start bullying her, teasing her because she couldn't sing the school anthem. So this has been devastating. And for all the young kids in Hong Kong learning, they would have pressure every day. So let's go through when they are that age, what happens with them, okay? They would actually, Hong Kong, because there's so many, it's so crowded, the school system's like kind of overloaded. They would have the AM session and the PM. So the AM session would start like, I think 8:30, start classes and finish at 12:30. And that will be finished. This other section is 12:30 or 1 o'clock. It will finish at like 4:30. So she would get, for example, she would start up 8:30 in the morning, and then she would finish like 12:30, okay? And after 12:30, what happens is she would go directly to a tutor, because the school recommends that she would go to have a tutor lesson. The reason why is because when she was like 7, she would have 5 different kind of homeworks she has to do. She would have to do English, she would have to do Chinese, she would have to do geography, she would have to do like reading exercise and simple math. And these are the main subjects she had to do. And she would go to this teaching place that the school recommends. She would go there, this institute, okay, tutoring institute, for 3 hours a day. So she would later on complain. She said, if I didn't know, she was KM Mary. She's a regular kid. She's a normal kid. She's not special. She doesn't need special needs. But this happens to everybody because of the pressure is so high. So after 12:30, she would go for 3 hours and she would complain. She says, Dad, they don't give me lunch. They don't give me to drink. I don't have nothing to drink at all. Why? I said, why? I mean, you have your school bag, I have water, I have snack for you, lunch. Because they say, if I don't finish my homework, you're not allowed to even drink water. And that sucks. Yeah. Oh, good for you, Cam. Yeah, you must have a kind heart and good patience, So that's happening to her every day. And so after 3 hours, she would get out, hungry as crazy because she barely got her homework done. It would take her at least 3 hours every day to clear that homework. And after that, she would have to learn an instrument. So she learned violin. So she would, after that class around 3:30, she would have to go back to school to practice her violin for an hour. And this was her that's her school life. And if you talk about sports, yes, they would have PE. So like you would have 45 minutes a day. You would run around in a concrete playground, playing ball, whatever. And that was all the sport you would have. And that is the life. Okay. And this would happen to my son. This is the same thing. My son went to like a good, he went to a good, excuse me, guys. Okay. My battery's running low. Anyway, my son would have the same thing. So he was in a higher grade, but still the exams were there. So they had to force him to do that. And after all they would have like tests for math because the TSA, there are 3 subjects the government focus on: math, number 1, Chinese, and English. So these are the 3 main subjects they get drilled on every single day practicing. So my son would have these tests every week. And what happens to these tests? Obviously, we came from LA. My son's Chinese is not really good. Still now isn't very good. But at least he's force-feed to learn some Chinese. So I would give him like 50% Chinese now, okay? But when he was a kid, like 10 years old, they would do Chinese tests. And he would get 20 out of 100. Okay? He would get 20 out of 100. And then the teacher would, every day after the Chinese test, okay, class, and there are about 30 people. Okay, class, here's your Chinese exam. Okay, so they'll read out the name. Hey, John, you got 80 out of 100. Congratulations. Hey, Jack, oh, great work. You got 90. Okay, they'll hand out, okay, who's this? Jessica. Okay, Jessica. Oh, you got 100. Oh, congratulations. Okay, and when my son comes, oh, you got 30. And then the whole class packs out, just burst out laughing. And I think, okay, his Chinese isn't good. He got 30 out of 100, fail, whatever, fine. But does that give the teacher the right to humiliate him and the whole class laughing at him, And when they get out for a break, the students, his schoolmates, all gives him a real hard time? No. Ray, the question was, do you think private schools in Hong Kong have better approaches to teaching kids? Example, kinder to kids. Yes. Public shaming is horrible by Grady Gillis. Is a horrible idea. I teach high school and that would go over well. Okay. So my son, after the teacher humiliates him, they would go out to playground to play whatever, do something. His mates, his friends would laugh at him. Oh, you shouldn't even be going to school. Look at that. Oh my God. They would humiliate him. And the teacher just give him a hard time so he'll do better next time. That is their tactic. So they would think the student would do better. So that really sucks. Okay. So there's so many parts of this thing, and this is the whole school system. This is a public school system in Hong Kong, and it sucks. And I had a question from Ray, private schools in Hong Kong. Of course, private schools in Hong Kong, they are completely different. They don't, for example, they don't have the TSA tests. Now they change it to some other name, BCS or whatever. It's the same BS. It's the same thing. And there has been really big protests. The parents went to the legislation council in Hong Kong, protest and everything a couple of years ago, but they just kind of relaxed it a little bit, but it's the same thing. Here, I have a question from dark horrendous. Teachers shouldn't do that to students. And I have a rule to keep private students with score under 65 to 70, especially kept in private considering his background. That sucks. Yes, I totally agree. Brown Eye from Jason D. Brown Eye, did you grow up and go to school in Hong Kong? If so, was school different back then? No, actually, I really briefly went to school in Hong Kong. I went to the States. And after that, anyway, I'll discuss my education a bit later. It's a good question. Okay, awesome question. So later on, my son couldn't take anymore. He was breaking down. And now, I mean, the present moment, 2019, my son came to me. He said, Dad, actually, did you know I thought about suiciding? I mean, are you stupid? I got furious, of course. I said, why? I mean, you have the life. I work hard. I do everything for you. Anything you want, I do for you. Why do you think of, he said, Dad, I would have jumped off the building, but he's a kid and he's just really honest, and, there's no turning corners, or like he would tell me, oh, Dad, I just couldn't take anymore. I thought about jumping off the building, but I couldn't imagine falling down, the impact, that would be so painful. I don't think I can bear that pain. And when he told me that, it just broke my heart. I mean, that's crazy. That is, I mean, it's happening to my kids, man. That's totally unacceptable, right? So the deal is, after my daughter's crying, my son's crying, I changed them to a private school, international school, and it's subsidized by the government in a way. But now they think it's an international school, and the government's slowly backing out. So nowadays, okay, not my kids back then when they just entered school, but nowadays, okay, guys, if they want to be accepted in an international school in Hong Kong, you need to buy a debenture, because of the school subsidies from the government is gone for the young kids now. It's 80,000 US dollars to buy a debenture for one student. 80 grand US. After you pay that debenture, and it's a non-refundable debenture, okay, so you won't get your money back. It's gone. And you would be on the waiting list, and you probably have to wait 2 years before you get into that international school. Plus, all the school fees will be like 2,000 US minimum. That's just the school fee. It doesn't include anything like their meals, their uniforms, their outdoor activities, their excursions around the world. I mean, all of that adds up. Books. So you would spend at least 25 to 30 grand US. No, around 3,000, around 25 to 3,000 bucks a month for each international student, because the government doesn't really subsidize. So so there's parents have sold their houses to have their kids in those international schools. This is madness. That's why I want to tell you. Thank you, KM. Big hug to you. By the way, I'm having some beer. Cheers. So now my kids, luckily, they were at that time, we didn't have to pay any debentures. We didn't have to pay any extra. And 60% of this international school was subsidized. So they are still under the government protection in a way. So they would pay only $2,000 each US. But that's already killing me. I don't know, did you guys see the video that I'm saying I'm leaving China? I mean, I really want to leave because it's just crazy, and by the income you make and the money you sacrifice on the kids, that's just not proportional at all. Like the school would say, hey, okay, we're taking a field trip excursion. Oh, we're going to Dubai. Okay, so the school charges you an enormous amount of thank you, Powder 7%. You're awesome. So the school would say, are you going to Dubai then? Right? And the schoolmates, hey, are you going to Dubai? And if my son says, oh no, I'm just gonna stay back. Do you know what where I'm coming from? So that trip would cost him easily $3,000 US. So there goes another $3,000 just to go to Dubai. So that is how the school works, man. Thank you, Austin. Yeah, they are strong. I mean, they thought about ending their lives. Do you think that's pretty strong? That's crazy. So international school, and most of their schoolmates in international school are from big corporation. They're expats. The big company, public company, would hire them to Hong Kong to work. They will get an allowance. They will get housing, and they will get school subsidies from the company. So it's not really affecting them that much because they can afford it. And my son always tells me, "Oh, my friend just got this gaming computer. It's so good. He's got these headphones." I said, "So what if they got these headphones, got a computer, whatever? It's irrelevant. What you are there in school is not to show off, and it makes no sense showing off and telling how rich you are." Yes, my kids. Thank you very much for your regards, Dr. Randius. And that is another problem, because I'm not in a public. I just have a job, and my job is screwed up now, and there's a lot of pressure going on, So hopefully I can do this YouTube, slowly build up my audience. You awesome people out there, you are my big family out there, and I really appreciate you. And the guys who join me later, my whole account has been demonetized, so I'm not getting even a cent from it. So later on, check out the description below and help me out on my Patreon or something. $1 or something would help. Yeah, no more super chat, guys. No more. Thank you, Powder 7. Get me a beer. Yeah, I'll put in the link for my Patreon, $1 or something, I appreciate it. When do you see Brown Eye having a beer? I mean, Brown Eye's having plenty of beers tonight because my Brown Eye channel got demonetized. So cheers to you. Sucks. Anyway, guys, I'm just venting. Please excuse me. Yeah, demonetized. Yeah, but Patreon, so far it's good. Everything is good. I started the account actually last month, but I never promoted because I thought I was doing well. Everything, doing well is just getting a few bucks from from YouTube. I'm not, my views are like I get 200-300 views max, on my video. So at least it's something, at least it's something to encourage me to do these videos for you guys to enjoy. And I hope you guys are enjoying and not finding me boring. And okay, let's go back. So what is the difference between the international school now, since my kids are there? And by the way, if I come over to Los Angeles, I'll just rent a house in wherever, go to South Pasadena or go to Pasadena, San Marino, rent some small house there, and their education will be free, their high school, And that is the deal. In Hong Kong, you have to pay high rent. You have to pay all that school fees every month. Even the school bus for this term, after New Year's, I have canceled their school bus to school. They're going to take public transport because they are old enough, okay? They are going to take the subway, and they get subsidized, so they get a little bit of discount. But do you know how much does each of my kids, the school bus, for 4 months, for one term, okay? How much? You guys won't believe it. It's $1,500 a month, guys. $1,500 US a month per student to get on the bus to school from where I live. That is unbelievable. Thank you. That is crazy, guys. So the pressure on me, but anyway, I'm handling it. Everything is so far so good. I'm trying to find ways, everybody have their issues, but those I'll sort it out. It's no problem, but I just want to share with you guys what's happening with that's how much it costs to study in an international school. And when they're in an international school, they have no pressure. The pressure is just from 100%, okay, to 0. 100% public school to international school is 0. Okay, my son is now in senior high. He doesn't need to wear a uniform. In Hong Kong, if you don't wear, yes, excuse me, guys, Powder 7 says that my whole channel got demonetized. Yep. Not just one, I would get like you have to share revenue or whatever, but they never ban any particular video. If I had some music, they would share the music to share the profits from the music after I use some music. But the music is no copyright music that you can use, but you credit them on the description. But the deal I found out with those is when you do well in a video, they'll monetize it or whatever. They're claiming a copyright thing. So you have to share the revenue with them. Yep. So my whole channel is demonetized. I swear to God, Excuse me, guys. This is so exciting. Cheers. So this has been madness for me, Let's not even talk about my mom, why I'm here and all that. Talk about the kids. So talking about from 100 to 0. So suddenly they're in this international school. And now they are both in high school. And my daughter says, hey, Dad, I want to do my nails. Can I wear a bit of a makeup? Can I dye my hair a little highlight or something like that? And it's totally fine. You can do that. And if you did that in a public school, you'll be expelled right out. You don't have to say anything. You'll be expelled. And that's crazy. And what else? And they in high school, my daughter and my kid, my son, they won't have any homework. Suddenly you would have like 3-4 hours of homework from a public school, and suddenly 0 homework. Like you just make sure you read this book at home. It's just same as the UK system, same as the American system. That's you change too, and the course is different. You go to the GCSE, and that is a British board exam, so you would go for that. And the sucky thing is, when my kids graduate from the international school, the chance of entering a university in Hong Kong locally is much higher than a public school. And isn't that weird? That really sucks. So my son, the reason I wanted to go back here to live in North America is, about the course. But the thing is, what got me stuck is my son is already in this program, and the teacher already figured out the whole curriculum until he graduates. So it's going to be under 2 years before he can graduate properly with the high school degree and everything. And from that certificate, the school guaranteed he can go to any college. It's qualified to go to any college or any vocational college that he wants to, because he's certified from this international school. And what can I do? I can't say, hey, stop it. Just come over, hop on the plane, come to North America, complete your education, because he's that much close. He's like under 2 years, like 2021 or end of 2020 he'll finish, and then we can consider moving over, because then he can apply for any technical college, any university with his certificate. So I'm in limbo in a way, because I'm stuck in a way. As for my daughter, she's fine. She can leave anytime. She's smart. She's street smart. I don't know. Have you guys seen her? But she's a street smart. She can adapt. She can have, everything will work out for her. Thank you for the likes, guys. Especially, you guys are awesome. And that's how it goes. So I'm here stuck for 2 more years in Hong Kong, into international school. So if you talk about the pressure now, has become really low. But my son has major exams to pass his course, so he has a little bit of pressure, but the school has been really supportive to him. And by the way, let me mention, when my daughter was in the public school, you had to, when you first day you go back to school, there's some forms that parents have to fill out, all those good stuff. And the teacher was complaining, called us, from her public school, says, "Oh, your daughter hasn't got, the attitude sucks. They talk to you like you're nothing. Okay, hey, we haven't received your documents. Where are they? It's been over a week. I have to punish your daughter, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Oh, please, do you think it would be all right if we can show her to the administration office?" "Oh, okay, I'll show her. There's no problem. I'll bring her there, but I'll deduct some points from her grade for being tardy. So she'll get points deducted off her report card, because the teacher had to bring her to the administration. But she was only 7 years old." Isn't that crazy? So the conduct, you will have a grade for your conduct, your attitude, and all that. So if you don't fulfill whatever the teacher does in this public school, you get all these bad marks from it. Sucks. Okay, so my kids, the situations, what's happening with them. So I have to wait maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and then I'll be a lot freer. The pressure will be off. So till now, the pressure is right here. Cheers. And let's talk about tiger parents. Okay. Tiger parents, the definition of tiger parenting. Do you know what it is? It happens. I've seen it in Hong Kong, and I've known my friends from Hong Kong. They are tiger parents. So what happens, tiger parents, when they're a kid, when they are 4 years old, okay, even before preschool or anything, they go to private tutors to learn how to do an interview. Believe it or not, in Hong Kong, you can make money opening a tutoring house to coach 3-4-year-old kids how to do interviews to get in kindergarten. Okay? How's that sound, guys? So my friends' kids has been joining those classes, and those classes aren't cheap, Those classes are expensive. They cost like $100, $80 to $100 US per hour. Okay. So I have a question, Powder 779. Why didn't they transfer to you? Yes, they can transfer to high school. It's easier. Yes, and I would save a lot of money. But now he's in a program. He's in a British program, because Hong Kong used to be a British colony. So they still go with the GCSE program. So all he has to do, he's got a year and a half. He graduates from the GCSE program. He'll be recognized throughout the world. So he can go to college or technical college, vocational college. There'll be no problem. So I hate to just pull him out of the system and bring him to the States and just start all over again. I hope that answered your question. Yes, Mario, you said you never talk about your wife. Actually, I can do a video on my wife, We're fine. We're happy, in love, married, We'll talk about her later. Maybe another vlog, okay? Okay, so my kids, Sorry, I just had to answer my awesome subscribers. If you have a question, just feel free to. Cheers. Okay, tiger parents. So we're talking about those people getting coached. That's already crazy, okay? And then you have to learn how to dress up properly, a shirt and all that. That's all part of the thing. And how you eat, table manners and everything like that, okay? And that's crazy. And another thing, when your kid's just born, it's a baby, a lot of parents have to line up to get their kids baptized. Because in Hong Kong, if you want to go to a Christian school, Catholic school, or Presbyterian school, or whatever school, you have to be baptized. So whether they like it or not, there's a big queue. There's a big lineup to get your kids baptized. Okay? And for the kids didn't get baptized, they won't have a chance getting into a Catholic school at all. And usually Catholic schools are really good, have a famous name. So I have a question. It says, thank you from Mario. Thank you. We are watching from California. Much respect for taking care of your mom and kids. Thank you very much. Appreciate you watching me. Okay, so that's the deal. And then the parents, how would it go? They would baptize their kids and then enroll to the kid. And for Hong Kong is the most expensive to live. Did you know that? Hong Kong is really expensive. The reason is the real estate prices is the highest in the world. You thought New York City, Manhattan was high. You go to Hong Kong and it's higher than New York City. And it's hard to save money in Hong Kong because everything is expensive. Everything costs you a lot of money. I have a question from Sony. Why did you move your family to Hong Kong? Because my family was there, and when my dad was with us, I helped him during the last years. So we stayed there and we got established in Hong Kong. And I had some business doing chargers I worked in a casino in the beginning years, being at an executive office, managing the whole hotel business in Macau. And after that, I got laid off, and then I did my own business doing chargers for Tesla, because Hong Kong Teslas were going crazy because there's no tax at all. But now the government last year of April added 130% tax on Teslas or all electric cars. My business has gone to hell. So I hope that had answered your question. No business anymore. Okay, so let's go back to, sorry guys to interrupt. Where am I? I'm lost. Okay, so these tiger parenting. So what did they do is the mom would force this kid to do this thing, the interview lessons, and then start learning the piano. And their fingers are so tiny they can't even play. Because when you get accepted in those schools, you must have some hobbies, you have to have some skills and stuff like that. So they will force them to play a piano, which they can't even play properly. They'll force them violin, and then play some indoor sports, some easy, simple sports. So they would build up a good, what do you call that? A good CV to enter the school. And talking about real estate prices, I forgot. Sorry, guys. The real estate price is so high. And the thing is, when you want to get into a good public school, you got to live in a good area that is close to that famous public school, right? Makes sense? So when you're in that area, they will accept you. So if you live far away, there's no way they would accept you to get in that school. You won't accept it at all. Even you have no chance. So everybody, if there's a good school nearby, a public school, they would all move. So all the prices would be high, even for renting and for buying property. So renting, if you live in Hong Kong, the central area, say the CBD district and close by, and you want to live in a medium-sized apartment, for example, 500 square foot apartment, 2 bed, it will cost you minimum uh, 5,000 US. Okay, and you would live 500 square foot, and that's already considered big in Hong Kong standards. Okay, so that's how expensive it is. So you would see there's not really much expats in Hong Kong because it's just so much to cost to live in Hong Kong. So expats would usually from Hong Kong, when they finish with their jobs and they want to retire, they would go Southeast Asia, go to Philippines, go to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and the cost of living will be a lot lower there. Okay, so let's go back to the tiger parenting. So the parents would force the kids, and they have no life. I think the whole life, like my neighbor, they force him every time in the afternoon. You hear people coming up, ringing the bell. You would see the math teacher coming. You would see the English teacher coming. You would see the Chinese teacher. These are the three minimum private tutoring you would see, and each private tutor, it will cost you like how much? At least $70 to $100 US per hour. Really. And even, believe it or not, even in the really expensive apartments, a teacher would rent a 1-bedroom apartment in this really expensive residence, just to take students, so that students will be convenient to go to their neighborhood block to have the teacher tuition, because they would pay so much rent, like $5,000 of rent US, and they'll still make it because of all the tutoring they're doing on the neighborhood, because all these rich students. So at the end, what would the kids benefit from the Hong Kong education system, the public school system? Is nothing. They would be depressed. There are a lot of kids now that is suffering from depression, and lots of students are not happy with their lives. They have lost hope in the system. And I've seen, like my neighbors, they forced him so hard because this was such a famous school in Hong Kong, a public school. Everybody knows, wow, And what happened to him was when he was in junior high, he couldn't take it anymore. The kid just refused, everything just stopped, refused. So the parents just sent him overseas, abroad to UK, to continue his education in UK. So what was the point from having your kid, baby, suffering all that years until you're like 12, 13 years old, to leave the system when, you know what I mean? Like to leave the family to go to UK to have an easier education. So why force? You know why? I know the reason why, okay? It's because Asian people love face. They love face, okay? So they would gather, family dinners or friends dinner gathering. This is, so you would hear in these conversations, you would hear, my son just got into this school. Oh, my son just got an A. Oh, he's in this. Oh, and the other parents says, wow, it's a very difficult school to get in. Wow, he must be good. Yeah, showing off. I mean, they are showing, bragging, and doing everything to tell them, wow, I'm just superior because my kids are, but they don't understand that the kid hasn't got a life, man. They can't even, like my kids now in the international school, they would do sailing. They will sail, like after school, they would do a sailing. They would go play soccer. They would play water polo. They would play tennis. They would play golf. And the time is dedicated for them. And they have sports day. Like every Monday, they have a sports day competing each other. And sports actually ranks higher than even education sometimes. And that's why I sometimes say, international, are they really learning anything or just doing sports all the time? So that's a completely different. So in the public system, they won't hardly do any, like give you 45 minutes to run around the playground, maybe with a basketball. That's about it. And that is the life, because they can't afford after school to go hang out with friends and play, do sports, because in their mind that I'm going to have exam very soon in a couple of days, and I better study. Plus, you have to study for the exam, plus all that homework. So you have all subjects. You would have daily homework every single day, and you would spend like at least half an hour for each subject, and that really sucks. So on the conclusion of the tiger parents, so they just want to brag. So in Hong Kong, I think it's kind of sad to see these kids suffer because of parents bragging rights, So for me, I never brag about my kids or anything. My objective, and I think you guys are with me, the objective is to have the children have a good life and to learn. I hope you guys agree. And something, my sister, let's talk about my sister, okay? But before we go that way, let's read a comment. Grady Gillis, I've seen a lot of kids where I teach, they are focused into higher levels of courses above they can handle because of their parents. Parents do it for their own status. Yes, definitely, they do it for their own status. And it's pretty normal in a public school for Hong Kong kids that the parents do the homework for them, because there's no way you can't. Like my son, when he was in public school, he did homework till 1 o'clock, and he was like 9 years old. Give him a break, man. He would still, oh Dad, I can't finish my homework. He's going nuts, because all the tutors would already leave by after dinner time, and he's on his own. He'd still have ends to tie up to finish, and it's still 1 o'clock. I said, go to sleep. You got to wake up at 6. I can't, Dad. I'll be punished. The class will laugh at me. So this is the system. I mean, some kids. I'm not saying it happens to every kid in Hong Kong, but to be in all fairness, some kids can handle it all because they're really smart. They're quick doing their homework, and everything's in tip-top condition. But for my kids, they're just average kids, and they're just not used to this pressure. And plus, even the summer school, they'll go to LA and they'll attend some courses, when they're kids, and they had a lot of fun there. Having, during the summer, the classes, they'll just have it outside the garden or in the school courtyard, and just relax, sit down, and listen to the teacher. Okay, so let's go back to my sister. Why is she? My sister's a doctor. She's really smart and stuff like that. Do you know why she's so smart? She got the distinction in class and everything. The reason she is good, because in Hong Kong public system, if you can memorize a book, you would have 100. You get 100. So if I had a question or something like that in high school, I would just memorize the whole text thing and just write it down, and you get 100. So in the public system, you don't have to talk about logics, how you digest, how it works, how this interacts with this thing, so this would happen, or anything like that, or the history behind it. Is when you go to class, you would simply get a book and start reading the chapters. The teacher would just explain the chapters, blah, 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 blah. And when the exam comes, you just recite this. And that was it. If you can understand if you have memory, good memory, you can be a doctor. But doesn't mean you're logical, okay? My sister, I always laugh at her. I told her she's not that logical, because she says, yeah, but I'm good at I can remember. I'll get 100%, from exams. And the thing is, yes, Dr. Renus, you don't learn anything. You just memorize the book. That is in Hong Kong. So if the smart students in Hong Kong, all you have to do is just memorize the book, and then you get 100. My parents aren't high. So I had a question from Powder 777. Are my parents tiger parents? Not really. Of course, every parents want their kids to do well, but my parents were really busy for their business and they didn't have an opportunity. So what they sent me off to Australia to a boarding school at 11. And that was, I think that's a vlog I should talk about, because that was a really sad life, leaving my family at 11 years old. So that sucks. Hey, Larry. Yep, learning. So my kids, they have to. So, for example, how my kids would get a good score, they would get on the internet, they would Google, and they have to understand the logics. And the teacher, they, like my son, he's really responsible. Even my daughter too. I've got to give her a little bit of credit too, right? So when they have basic homework now, or some little bit of homework they don't understand, and in the class they can stay back after class, and they have a duty teacher in the classroom, so you can ask them questions and you can finish your homework before you go home. See, that's the difference, right? So by the time they get home, they can do whatever they want. So when they're on the phone playing games or whatever, and I say, hey, get on the, start reading, and they would tell me, hey, Dad, I've done all my homework. So what can I say, right? I can't force them to do anything, right? And the thing is, their school system now, it runs on Google Classroom. Do you guys know what is Google Classroom? So what you do is, for your homework and grades, everything, like you just log on to your Google Classroom, and all your assignments and all that will be there. Yep. And the thing is, what's good about the kids now, and when they have a project, they gather, and the kids, they hang out in McDonald's, and when they get serious, they say, okay, let's go to the library. Let's discuss the project we have to do, and let's bring out the points. So everybody in charge or something, and then let's storm up an idea, buy a big sketchbook, and then start writing ideas down and doing a presentation. Right? That is what learning is about, right, guys? But I mean, anybody from Hong Kong is listening. This is the public school system. It's definitely, it sucks. Yes, Powder 7, you would love to hear my boarding school experience. It's a sucky experience. I have to do a vlog on that, because it's a sad childhood. My parents actually work for the government. My dad's an architect. He graduated from Australia, and he had an architecture license in Australia, Canada, America, and the UK. So he at that time, when he was practicing in Hong Kong, he was the only architect in Hong Kong that had 4 licenses. So he was really good, really qualified. So he had a high ranking in the government system. That was the British colony days. So you guys would see, something, it's a stereotype in a way. People would think, oh, you're rich, you don't need anything, blah, 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 blah. And that's really unfair, because when my dad was high ranking, like government person, in the buildings department, they would give him the privileges, like the clubs, the golf clubs or the yacht clubs and all that. They would give the membership to him for free, because he worked for the British government. So as a son, they would pass on the tradition to give me the membership. If you ask me, these fancy clubs, do I have the money to join like a golf club in Hong Kong? It's no, because it will cost you in Hong Kong. Okay, talking about the clubs, golf, the Hong Kong, it was used to call the Royal Hong Kong Golf Club. If you want to join a Royal Hong Kong Golf Club, it's around $8 million US. Okay, $8 million US for the debenture, and you can't even get in with 8 million because there's a waiting list. See, you know what I mean? Okay, so let me answer some questions. Grady, I've been working on Google Classroom this morning. I linked 2 videos by Serpent ZA, sets of questions, and one of them is one with you and your luggage scooter. Awesome. Thank you. You're about to be famous. Thank you, Grady. You're awesome. Mario, wow, very smart guy. Yes. Powder 77, yes, Posse's got his girl, so people want to watch his girl, not him, right? Mr. Becker, among hard to believe there's a waiting list for a club that costs $8 million to join. Yes, it's true. You can look it up. Guys, Google it. I left Hong Kong public school system when I was 4, and my family moved back to the US. You are lucky, Sonny. Yep. So you would think, oh, this guy's loaded, blah, 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 blah. But actually, kids are in the international school, so it's really tough for me. Every day, there's so much pressure for me. And plus today, my account is demonetized. The whole account is demonetized, so I'm not getting anything. So cheers for it. So I started a Patreon page, so if you want to buy me a beer or something, I would mostly appreciate it, So thank you very much. Yeah, sucks. So you want to know how much I joined the at that time was the Royal Hong Kong Golf Club. So let me spill the beans. So I joined the membership. I joined the membership because of my father, and then my entrance fee to get into the golf club is, let me think, is I think $5,000, $5,000 US to get in the membership, lifetime membership. Okay. So do you think you have to be super rich to spend $5,000 to get into a really elite golf club? But I have to thank my father up there in heaven, because that's what he passed on to me. Yes, Barker. So let's read some questions. Why was it demonetized? The reason was my account was demonetized because I had this account 10 years ago. I think it's 2008. At that time, people just download some video clips or whatever on the channel. So I just left them on and it was okay. But suddenly, I think Google got to me. They said those were infringing copyright things. So they demonetized my account. So what I did this afternoon, I just got this news right now, just like an hour before I did this video. And it was just devastating. Yeah. And I'm getting nothing now. There's no more ads on all my videos. Isn't that good for you guys? Cool. And so within that hour, I just deleted all the videos, So that's no strikes. No, Dr. Innes, no strikes, no warnings, no nothing, straight off demonetized. I have to be, yes, I would be able to get monetized after 1 month. So end of February, I can try to get it monetized again if my account is in good standing. So right this afternoon, I already deleted all the videos that I put up this morning. No, 2008. Yeah. It's my fault in a way because it was infringing some copyright. But all of those videos I put up wasn't monetized. I didn't monetize them at all. But it was infringing copyright. So, yeah, it's fair enough, right? So, you guys, cheers. And after that, I went down and I got a six-pack. Okay, so let's go back to the school system. So my kids, my son, tiger parents, because of saving face. So at the end, my friends, my neighbor, spent all that money, all that pressure to that kid, and he's in UK. Yes, a cold one is needed indeed. Buy me a beer, okay, if you can. No super chat here because I'm demonetized. I wish you can super chat me, but there's no super chat. It's demonetized. It's gone. So I've set up a Patreon account there. If you can, whatever, take a look at it. And I'll try to develop even more, with your support. Awesome, guys. So that is my subject. That is what I wanted to cover. And kids now, because there's protesting really big in Hong Kong. There's a big deal. 2015 till now, there's still big protesting, trying to cancel the TSA exams. So that really sucks, So I hope the kids won't have to jump, because in Hong Kong the society is so bad, and And the thing is, something that I listen to my kids, my son, because we often go to China, mainland China, to Shenzhen. And during the weekend, the reason we go to Shenzhen is, of course, I make videos for you guys to watch. But another thing is, I know people from the Shenzhen University, the kids that study college there, and they're really fun young kids, and they love to interact with my kids. So during the week, if we have time, we go to Shenzhen, and they are willing to teach them Chinese. So not only the Chinese characters they're learning the pinyin too. So it's like an English writing, and you learn that pinyin too. The question about whenever you get to Thailand again, I'll get you a beer. Thank you, sir. Next time, I'll super chat you a beer. I don't know when would that time be. Okay, I hope there will be a time you can super chat, but not now. There's no way you can super chat me at all. Not even 1 cent. Sucks. Anyways, so this is my live. I will conclude my live now. I was really looking forward for this live, but all hell broke loose. My original stream broke down. Suddenly the internet lost the connection. I had to start up a new thing, and thank you guys for coming back to the new live chat, and I really appreciate it. And I hope I'll be monetized. So guys, I would really appreciate you just at least come to my Patreon account. Just leave a message to say hello or something. I would really appreciate it, because it should be 1.5 months before I get monetized again. But I'll stay strong. I'll keep on going. Okay, guys, just for you guys, it's totally worth it. And you guys are like family. Awesome. So that is my chat today. So what's happening tonight? Let me talk about what's happening tonight. Tonight's happening is there's a special Sunday night prime rib dinner, and I made a reservation at 8:30, and I'm going to take my mom to have a Sunday night prime rib dinner. Now it's 7:22 Pacific time, so I still got an hour, 8:30, and I can take my mom, and plus she can play a little bit of cards, have fun. So you guys, in case you didn't know, I have a Patreon account and I have a Facebook account, and I try to put on more posts on my Facebook account more regularly. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna wrap everything up, and it was very awesome sharing my very sad experience this afternoon with you guys. And let me know, before I leave, is it good for me to do a Sunday night live? Is it okay with you guys? Do you find it interesting? I mean, communicate with you guys. Let me know. Thank you. I'll hang in there. Yes, I will. So if it's a good idea, I'll try to make it a weekly thing, just to Sunday night around this time. Even in Hong Kong, it's probably going to be like 3 a.m, but I don't mind because of you guys. And Sunday night, cool. Yeah, East Coast. I hope, Grady, the East Coast time, is it good for you for the East Coast time? At least I can see you guys, right? Cool, awesome. Yeah. So I have I mean, every single one of my subscribers, you guys are so awesome, because I don't expect to have a few thousand people or whatever, but you guys are the part of my life, that I'm going through every day. And, in some time I can, every time we can look up this video and remember this conversation. So I'm going to sign off, and you guys, if you can, give me a like. It's free. It won't cost anything. And it will be, it's a big thank you for you guys to give me a like. Okay. And leave me messages on Facebook, and do check out my Patreon account, and I'll try to upgrade my Patreon account. Okay. So good night. Have a good rest. Good Sunday. And all thumbs up for the Monday morning when you guys get to work, okay? And happy morning for Monday. Happy day on Monday, okay? We have to look forward for an awesome week again to fight for our happiness, fight for a good life, and freedom, everything, okay? So take care. Thank you and good night. Bye-bye.